Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today I'll be doing a review of a Seiko SRPA77. But first I would like to thank Silvertime Watch Store for supplying this watch, and if you want to check them out you can click on the link in the description. Now this watch was released not long ago and it caught my eye right away thanks mostly to the very bold dial. The watch comes in many variations and I'll put the pictures on the screen of all the other variants. But this one, with its combination of green and gold, is to me the most striking. I think it's partly down to this color combination being reminiscent of the now legendary SRPA77 Alpinist. But while the Alpinist is an elegant and refined watch, with a curved case, beautifully applied gold markers and a sunburst dial, this is a lot more utilitarian, with sharp angular case lines, the fully loomed oversized markers and the matte green dial. A funnier way of comparing the two is if we look at the Alpinist the way it was advertised, as a watch worn by a gentleman mountaineer that climbs Japanese mountains over the weekends. Now the SRPA would then be a watch worn by the rescue team that goes searching for a gentleman mountaineer when he gets lost. It's just more toolish. And I know it's a word used way too often in the world of watches, but in this case it describes the watch perfectly. It is a mix of a couple of watch styles, which could make one think that the watch doesn't know what it is. But when the mix results in increased functionality through better legibility, one really cannot see it as a bad thing. So yes, it does look and feel like a field watch, while the dial and hands are those of an aviator watch. But to me personally, it's a match made in heaven. When it comes to the specs, the watch is large, just like every new Seiko these days, which makes it sit just on the edge of being too large for my 6.9-inch wrist. I mean, if it were a regular watch, I would definitely call it too large. But given the nature and the character of this watch, meaning it's a tool made to be as legible as possible in all conditions, the size actually works. Would I like if it was smaller? Definitely, but even like this, with a diameter of a whopping 45 millimeters, the watch is actually okay to wear, probably due to the lug-to-lug of only 50. Now for comparison, the Hamilton khaki I reviewed last week had a lug-to-lug of 53 millimeters despite the case being smaller than this at 42. The thickness is 12 millimeters and the watch weighs 85 grams with a leather strap. The strap is brown, which means it looks excellent with the green and gold dial. It's also a pretty good strap, which is yet another evidence Seiko is getting better when it comes to leather. Now, although leather straps look awesome on this watch, I personally think it's made for nylon straps. Meaning regular watch people will love this watch on a NATO or a Zulu, as it will accentuate the toolish look and feel of the watch even more. Since I don't like NATOs, my personal choice would be a two-piece nylon strap like this one. The case, as I said, is pretty angular with sharp lines and goes well with the dial. It's brushed on all top surfaces and highly polished on the bevels, sides, and the caseback. The bezel is fixed and cannot be rotated, even though it has this knurling around its outer edge that would suggest it can. Another thing when it comes to the bezel is that on the black dialed version, it is coated in black, and since it's the part most prone to being hit and knocked around, in my opinion, you're better off going for other versions that come with plain stainless steel bezel like this one does. It will just be more durable. The crystal is a flat hardlex, meaning the reflections are kept at a minimum, which is another detail that helps in giving you a clear look of the dial, which again is the reason I noticed this watch in the first place. Like I said, it's bold and legible. But in this case, being legible not only means that you can tell the time easily and at a glance, but a person standing 10 feet away from you will have no problem reading the time. Partly it's down to the oversized markers, and partly to the oversized hands that not only reach to their designated markers, but are at a brink of going past them. They're long, wide, and filled with an ample amount of lume. And not just any lume, but Seiko lume, which is the best in the business. Meaning that the same person that was able to read the time of your watch standing 10 feet away during the day, in the dark will be able to read the time 10 yards away. It really is that good. So if you're often going to super secret missions, or if you're a sexual predator, meaning you will be doing a lot of sneaking in the dark, this is definitely not a watch for you, as it will give away your position. I also love the symmetry of the dial, which is especially visible in the dark, thanks to two great decisions by Seiko. The first one is to have date only, and the second was to move that date to 4:30, while leaving the 3 o'clock marker alone. Now, it is also done in black, so it kind of disappears on the dial, but you can still read it when you need to. Flipping the watch over reveals the exhibition Caseback, and to be honest, this would suit the dressier Alpinist better, while the solid caseback of the Alpinist would suit this watch much better, so I wish it came without one. The watch is powered by the 4R35 movement, which is a well-known date-only successor of the 7S26. It beats at 21,600 beats per hour, has both hacking and hand winding, and comes with a quick set date. The watch comes with two crowns, neither of which is a screw down, which is why this watch is water resistant to only 100 meters, unlike the Alpinist that boasts 200 meter water resistance. Now, to be perfectly honest, even the 100 meter is an overkill, and you should be able to use it in the water worry-free, while the lack of a screw-down crown means you have no danger of cross-threading the crown tube. The second crown is used to operate the internal compass bezel that is bidirectional. Now, this is not a real working magnetic compass, but it can still be used to determine the sides of the world, at least during the day if you can see the sun. Now, to operate it, you first have to know whether you're on the northern or southern hemisphere. If you're on the northern, like I am, you rotate the compass bezel until the south marker is halfway between the hour hand and 12 o'clock. Once set up like that, you point the hour hand in the direction of the sun, and the compass bezel will show you the correct sides of the world. If you're in the southern hemisphere, everything is the same, with the only difference being that when doing the initial bezel setup, you put the north marker halfway between the hour hand and the 12 o'clock marker. Then you also have to subtract 1 hour if you observe daylight savings time during the summer, and should reset the bezel every hour or so. But if you want to know all the details about using this, I would advise you to check out another great video by Mark from Long Island Watch, and you can see it by clicking this link right here. Now, in conclusion, I would like to congratulate Seiko on making an excellent and rather interesting watch. We often see them trying to combine different styles and putting unnecessary additions on watches, which many times results in over-designed and flashy pieces. But this, even with the combination of a field watch and a pilot watch, just looks awesome. Now, when it comes to legibility, few watches come close to this. And like I said a million times already, I'm a sucker for legible watches, as I believe watches should first and foremost tell the time. And this watch doesn't just tell the time, it screams it. So if you have to have a watch that allows you to tell the time at a glance, no matter the situation, or if your eyesight isn't what it used to be, this watch is perfect for you. Now, if I had the ability to influence Seiko, which I don't, I would love to see them make a watch with this dial and these hands, but without the compass bezel, which would allow for a smaller case. Now, that would be a perfect watch for me, as it would be simpler and would fit my wrist perfectly. Well, this pretty much completes this week's review, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe by pressing this button right here. And until the next video, bye.